I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Allegron's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino. Blake Shin, take a bow. Barraquil, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside him, bobbed, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switzerland, the big winner by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
Drifters, you might be wondering why this podcast is up so late. It's because, we just cannot stop working. We can't do it. We're just working all the time. So you got to be patient sometimes. Isn't that right, mate?
It is, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Drifters, it's a bit later. Your boy was just spreading the gospel that is horse racing up to the home of the Darwin Cup in the Northern Territory. And as Central C said, kind of mad because my flight delayed. So finally landed back here in Brisbane. Here we are. How you feeling, mate? How's the week been? What's been going on? You back at work as a new dad?
Yeah, just like riding a bike, I guess what I would say is don't sweat the small stuff, mate. People come to me with a bit of, some issues potentially, and I'm like, as a new parent, mate, my priorities have changed. So
yeah,
so
I'm seeing the world in a different light now, mate.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So, but no, mate. It is what it is. But yeah, it's all good. We'll probably get stuck in Know Who Am I this week. I know it's everyone's favourite segment, just in the interest of time. But obviously, a couple of things before we get into the cards. Treasurethe Moment. I hear she's going well. So disappointed that she's not going to be there on Saturday in the Makybe Diva, but we get to see Via Sistina instead.
Yeah. Do you reckon the field would have been exactly the same, but you would have swapped Via for Treasurethe Moment if Treasure was all good to go?
You might have had one or two more. Who those horses would be, I'm not sure, but I think it was a pretty small nominations anyway. I think Via Sistina probably scares one or two more off, which kind of sounds about right to me at this point in time.
Yeah, I think so. Look, at the end of the day, I'm just glad that she's all good, and we both know that colic can be fatal, and a lot of the drifters listening know that as well. But luckily they got onto it really early. So I think the latest was Matt Laurie was talking about maybe the Fian on the Friday night at the Valley, night of the Manikato, and then a Might and Power, I believe, into a Cox Plate.
The Fian is the race that you hear in our intro, actually, prior to Jenny winning it last year. That is the loudest race we've ever seen live.
Easily.
And we've seen a lot of horse racing in the flesh, but that was easily probably one of the most memorable races that I've seen.
Easily, yep.
The entire grandstand, the entire track was on the one horse, and she won.
Yeah, and then with the theatre of Southport Tycoon just pipping Growing Empire on the line in the Manikato. What a terrific night of racing. Lucky gents.
Yes. The other one I wanted to talk to you about, mate, was Sir Delius. So at this point in time, which the writing was on the wall, unfortunately, for a couple of weeks, but so be it. He is going to be taking on Via Sistina and potentially Treasurethe Moment in a Cox Plate, not heading towards a Caulfield Cup. Personally, for my back sky rocket, I think it's the wrong way to go, because I think he would absolutely donkey lick him in a Caulfield Cup. But I think that stable in particular, they love to bounce off the Way for Age form line heading into a Melbourne Cup, which is the ultimate goal for him. So they know more than me. I think take what's on offer, personally. But maybe he's good enough to win a Cox Plate, mate. Maybe.
Maybe. I think he's brilliant enough to be a weight for age 2,000 metre horse, but I'm with you. I'm in your camp 100%. Not even just back skyrocket. Just because you look at the Caulfield Cup markets, and for me, he's clearly the one. Look, I've got a ticket for Aliana at a big price, but she won't go there. It's like, why aren't we letting our best horses go to the Caulfield Cup?
I think the stance might have slightly changed in the last week. So she might actually land up going there, especially if Sir Delius isn't heading there. Because...
me likey.
Yeah, so there might be... I reckon it will be a line in the sand this weekend.
You reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, so... because if she goes out and wins, I reckon it puts less pressure on her to get more Group 1 wins on the CV, which then she's probably, if she wins this, she's going to be handicapped out the arse anyway in the future. So I think she will be, it will be interesting to see what happens this weekend.
Yeah. We'll see. But look, don't tear up your tickets yet, mate. There's still a slim hope for Sir Delius in the Caulfield Cup.
Albeit fleeting. So I won't tear them up because they're with the good people at Neds. Now, it's springtime, and you know what? I reckon this might have been the Headball Barrackeel Moby Dick race. The first at Flemington, where it's a benchmark 78, and you have group grade horses in it. I'm speaking of the likes of She's an Artist, Stolly Bolly, the Tonkin for Anthony and Sam Freeman as well. Like this is when spring gets into its work, when the benchmark 78s are competitive. That's what I like to see.
Hey, look, I'm almost a specialist at this race, mate. Tipping out 20-1 pops, and the form from this benchmark 78 is right up there with the Stradbroke, as a form reference for the next 12 months. Look, I tipped a roughie last year. Not going to do that on Saturday. I think She's an Artist is a really, really good horse. I think she comes out here, brains them, and I think she'll be running in group races this spring, namely the Furphy Sprint on Derby Day.
That's her race. Mate,
that's her race.
The Sultan of 2 Units fame and Racing.com fame and Good Tipster fame was calling for this horse to run in an Everest a couple of months ago. Yeah. So it's...
what the helly?
I think she's clearly, and he's a big ratings guy, a big times guy. So that's all I really need to hear. I think she'll be awfully hard to beat. But anyway, let's get into the races, the black type. The Poseidon is race 2 on the program. Now, I believe previous winners of this race, Growing Empire won this last year, Magic Control, Buenos Noches, Ranch Hand, and September Run. So I think there's, in recent years, Growing Empire placed in a Coolmore, Buenos Noches placed in a Coolmore, Ranch Hand, funny horse, he didn't do much in a Coolmore, and September Run won a Coolmore. So you could say that the form's going to stack up out of this race moving forward. Legacy Bound, I reckon that Breeders' Stakes win from him, I reckon that's the same race that Growing Empire won last year, heading into this race at Morphettville.
Interesting. I'm happy to stick with Tycoon Star in this race. I'm definitely a Devil Knight guy. Gets J-Mac and the right gate for running down the straight. But I thought Tycoon Star was brilliant last start. He gets a kilo off Devil Knight, and he's third up. So whilst Devil Knight, next time they meet this prep, might have him, I'm happy to take the $3 on offer for Tycoon Star on Saturday. Keen to be with him.
Yeah. I have been taken by Legacy Bound in, his Ballarat maiden win, and then he absolutely brained him at Morphettville, similar to growing empire, actually. Trials have been solid. Mark Zara, Daddy, is on board. Son of Ole Kirk, he has a few going around. And I've heard around the trap, speaking of size of around that age, I've heard Wild Ruler is getting into his work big time.
Really?
Yeah, apparently his progeny are shit hot. That's what I've heard. Yeah.
He's definitely one of mine. I got out of the casino with that horse. Well, he's a son of Snitzel, so he, like a lot of horses out there who are son of Schnitzels, are now passing on the genetics. Maybe he's the one. Maybe he is the Schnitzel.
Yeah, he is him. Long may it continue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we will see. Race 3 on the program is the Exford Plate. 1,400 metre listed at set weights and penalties for the 3-year-olds. Previous winners, Dawn Service, Griff, Barclay Square, Mr. Mozart, and Crosshaven. So I think Griff landed up winning at Caulfield Guineas.
He did, yeah.
Barclay Square, I think he ran really well in it. And then he also ran in a Victoria Derby. Mr. Mozart, I reckon he won at Newcastle one day on a heavy 10. And Crosshaven might have won the race on Derby Day over the mile.
Yes, he did. He did. That was the day where I couldn't tip a winner.
Oh, mate, Derby Day has it in him. It's not just you. Now, I think my Victoria Derby tip, Buck Lou, has actually been exited out of the market. So I reckon it might have actually got an injury. But I do have a backup one, and that is number 5, Arcora. This horse gives me big Finch vibes. You remember that? It's almost like a pacemaker for Chris Waller. This thing will stay all day. Huge horse, big chestnut, will just go forward and just has a massive action on him. So this is obviously far too short for him, but love that they're kicking off at the 1,400. So just want to see him stretch the legs out. What did you think of Vinrock? What do you want to do with him?
He was very plain. And Mark Zara, interestingly enough, said after his trials, he thought he was a colt who was feeling himself a little bit. And he needed that first up run to sharpen him up a little bit. So I like that there was some early speccing for him. So maybe people will expect him to bounce back. I'm not throwing him out yet. I'm happy to be with him, and also happy to be with him because it's a Flemington 1,400 metre race. So I've just got to stick with what I know, and what I know is that Vinrock's a good horse, shit gate, but I think he can bounce back. I'm happy to be with him. If he fails again here, then at least I know never again.
Yeah, no, that's true. Thought Crossbow was a winning chance here. Carried the 60 kilos last start, drops 2.5 here. J-Mac on, significant upgrade. So Barry 70, won at Flemington, 2 starts back, brings that Sydney form as well. Probably the one, and he's still a backable price around that $4 as well. The Capdon Teves. Now, 1,100 metres listed for 3-year-old fillies at set weights and penalties. Previous winners here. There's obviously been... the Poseidon must have actually changed its categorisation or where it was on the calendar, because I have September Run winning the Poseidon and the Capdon Teves. So maybe I've made a mistake there, but... unless she was that good back then, they should just ran in both on the same day, which I doubt. Bellatrix Star won this last year. She's all shenanigans the year prior. Nana Guy, Crystal Bound, and then obviously September Run. Enormous field of 19 as I'm looking at it currently. I don't know where to start here. Mara Gladiola, do you want to take the $4.80 with the good people at Neds?
Oh, it's short odds for a field of 20. But I backed her first up, and I thought she was good. My Gladiola, against the pattern of the day, she came home really nicely to finish second. And who did she run second to on that day?
For Rivia.
Yeah, for Rivia. And she failed on the weekend, which is the only question mark for me. But I don't know. I like her. I'm happy to stick with her. She is a short price. I don't know. Can you steer me into one at odds?
What about Graham Begg? The one down the bottom, Biologics.
Shell Silks.
Yeah. 2.5 length win at Pakenham on debut. Trials I've enjoyed watching. Barrier 14 probably could actually, if my Gladiola goes forward, which I doubt, but can kind of pick and choose what lane from there as well, whereas my Gladiola drawn the grandstand has only one option. So potentially Biologics, but
Graham Begg places him well. He'd rate this filly if he's chucking her in here second start.
Yeah, so I think he's been up and about that filly. So maybe her at about $8, but probably just a sit, watch, and clap operator. Now the Tontonan Stakes. I think this was the Vale Black Caviar last year. So listed open handicap. So I reckon, what was the UK horse that ran in this that we thought was like the bet of the spring? We watched it on Cox Plate Day as well. Royal Champion.
Oh, yes.
So that horse went down as a very short price favourite in this race, and he.
That's right.
But that's okay. So I thought this was another tough contest. Potentially don't want to give up on Gerringong yet. I think they'll ride her quiet here, which I think will actually be more suited. And it's probably a much easier race here, and you're getting double the price. So probably want to go a steerer in her camp, but not overly interested.
I'm gonna follow in the Stradbroke form with number 3 Transatlantic. I thought it was good last prep, and I feel like coming here in a very winnable race, at $5.50, I'm prepared to have a punt. Tony's obviously having a bit of a crack at the Melbourne Spring with Antino as his headline horse, but I think Transatlantic's is above Queensland level, so brings the right form to a listed race here. I'm happy to be with him.
Yeah, there's several Stradbroke runners here. Rise of Dawn ran okay in a Stradbroke. Beaten 6 lengths there, but he was far better in a Kicks of Smith Cup. And can carry weight, that horse. But tough contest. The Bobby Lewis 1200 metres Group 2 handicap down the straight. Arkansas Kid 56.5 with Blake Shin, drawn a little bit sticky, but he's been a bit of a frustration on this podcast. Arkansas Kid probably loses when he should win and wins when he should lose. Where'd you land in this race?
This is a tricky one because there are a few horses like that, like Airman's to Party. Longest prep ever, last prep. Loves the place. Corniche. There's a few that are really hard to catch. But I think Royal Insignia is a pretty good horse, and on 53 kilos here, like this distance really suits. But he's never won at Flemington, so that's clearly a query here. But with the lightweight and Willow on, might chance his arm a little bit. So yeah, Royal Insignia for me, but $5 is short enough.
Yeah, I'm torn between two who have been mine over the journey. First one's Airman, just because don't get sucked in to the trials too much, but he has been trialling like an absolute star, and he's just been mixing his form, but he typically runs some of his better races first up. Now, J-Mac on is a huge booking, I think. He just is these sort of horses. And he's drawn pretty well, 8 of 11, so he can kind of choose his own adventure here. So he's one I'm looking at, and the other one's Corniche as well, who's right beside him. And I think Jamie Mellon's probably the ideal jockey for this big Dumbo. So I could... And I think Flemington will suit this horse big time. Won't have to be so far off them, hopefully. And he's got a pretty electric furlong turn of foot. So I think he's the one that I'll probably land up backing. But it's probably D-Day. The only reason why I'm giving him another chance is because he had a slow recovery last start.
Yep.
So
fair enough. You got to back your boy in.
And now the Archer, you win and you're into the Melbourne Cup. Brevolare from Barrier 11 with Declan Bates on is $2.90 with the good people at Ned's. Does he just go out there, show his class and win?
I don't think it's that simple, but I am favourite bashing today, I've decided. Favourite bashing a lot in Flemington. I think he wins because I think Flemington is a track that really suits his style of racing. It's hit the front and be a bulldog and fight it out. And they would have left so much in the tank, Robert Hickmott and his crew, for a Melbourne Cup ultimately being the goal. I thought that was a really strong win last start. I wasn't on him, but I was really quite taken by it. It was tough. 55.5 kilos, no worries for this horse. Bit of a tricky draw, but we're happy to be with him. I think he'll probably blow out a bit as well. I could be dead wrong. Now I've just thought about it, but if he gets to $3 plus, more than happy to play. But at the same time, if he gets jammed in, the market usually knows, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's probably, again, not a race I'm overly interested in playing in, but if you put a gun to my head, I'd give you 2 outside of the favourite, and that's number 6, Jenny Vermoose, who has been absolutely flying around the valley, and number 7, Mormona. So I thought that was a really good return after a 6-week let-up at Caulfield over the 2,000 metres behind Revelare. But prior to that, he won the Dean Lester Flemington Cup over 2,800 metres, and he's basically not lost. He only really shows his form from 2,600 to over 3,000, this horse. So he's going to absolutely lap up the step up in distance here, almost using that run behind Brevolare as a bit of a trial, as an in-prep trial. So I think, Mormona, if you're playing the wider quaddies or what have you, absolutely has to go in. They're the 2 at a each way price that I would steer you into. The Makybe Diva, 1,600 metres, Group 1 at weight for age level. Mr. Brightside, Kitty Cat, Tom Kitten, and Tino, Mark Twain. What are you doing here? Via Sistina and Aliana. Via Sistina, $1.85 with the good people at Ned's. Barrier 2, J-Mac. Should have said something about the weather. I think the weather should be fine. Should be on a good track.
It should be.
And the rail's in the true. So she should have every single possible chance. J-Mac was coming to Melbourne anyway to ride Aliana, but he's jumped off to Via Sistina because Aliana might be the princess, but she's not the queen yet, I would say.
Well said. Via Sistina come out and win this pretty easy, but that's not interesting enough, is it? I think any horse can win this race, barring Mark Twain. There's only 6 horses in this field with no obvious leader. Every single one of these horses, barring Mr. Brightside, sits midfield or worse. Brightside will lead, and then Craig could pull off a masterclass and win. But every other jockey, and we've got some enormous fucking penises in this race, by the way. Benny Mellon, Blake Shin, James McDonald, Damien Lane. So, where's Mark?
There's
when you need
there's
him.
some hogs being like
It's a big,
slapped around.
it's a big hog energy in this race. Particularly Tommy Kitten with Stallion Chain first time. Barrier extension. Your guess is as good as mine. VA is so obvious because she's clearly the class, but Aliana stretched her last time, and she's gonna be suited out to a mile. And Antino, like stretching out to a mile with a slowly run race. If Blake Shin can do a Blake Shin and Turak handicap this lot, it could just play right into his hands. But then does Kitty Cat Tom identify that and think, I'm going to follow you, Antino? I probably have the sharpest turn of foot in this race. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be fascinating to watch. But Via Sistina, the obvious one, I'll probably have a bet on Antino because he's my guy. Would love to see Aliana to win. I'd love to see Kitty Cat Tom win. Like, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm a kitty cat guy, right? But I think that's wishful thinking given the missed run. I think his condition will give out late. I think he'll need the run, and his price suggests that, right? He's the second outsider in the field, although he's only $10. But
so he wants a Cox Plate, doesn't he?
Yeah,
so he'll have this run, a 2,000 metre run, and then Cox Plate.
Yep. I'd say so. I'd say he'd probably head to Might and Power or something. I reckon my speed map would be, if I was to try and guess it, Brightside to lead from Aliana, I have for second. So if in the Derby, she actually kicked up and took a forward position. So I'm thinking that she can have a little bit of tactical speed if she does jump. Probably from Mark Twain and then Via Sistina, Antino, Kitty Cat. That's how I've kind of mapped it. So if I'm mapping it that way, Via Sistina has to come from behind Aliana, which she can obviously do and win. Do I want to take that punt that will happen? Probably not. I can't really have a bet in this race. So in terms of a tip, it'd be maybe Aliana over Via Sistina, but Via Sistina probably wins. So,
do you know what I just thought about? Aliana, has she raced at Flemington before? Maybe once?
Yeah, in the Carbine Club on Derby Day.
That's right.
And she absolutely brained him. But if you look
this
back,
is her track.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And she won by 3.5 that day, but this is who she beat. Now, I will say there's been 7 subsequent winners from that race. So it's not bad form, but it being only about less than 12 months ago. But she beat Another Prophet, Feroce, Stylish Secret, King of Enterprise, Kanara, and Actor Non-Verba. So not a vintage crop, I would say.
No, I think that's, it's a reflection on the Carbine Club, I think, more so than it is on Aliana. But I was just thinking, Flemington, like that. This is her track, right? And I don't know. Yeah, she's likely. I think she's very likely. And but yeah, looking forward to it. It'll be a good contest.
Yeah, absolutely. The Let's Elope's a difficult contest over 1,400 metres Group 2 for the mares at set weights and penalties. J-Mac was coming to Melbourne for 2 key rides. It was Aliana at the start, now it's Via Sistina, but also Lazura. I think she's up and flying. Market suggests that as well at $2.50 with the good people at Ned's. Do you want to take that price here?
That's awfully short, isn't it? And she's carrying a bit of weight, Lazura. I was taken by that first up win. I was on. I'm favourite bashing today. I'm happy to be with her. But, there's definitely chances. Like a bounding could run a good race on display, running by. Splashback could bounce back. Lol. So there's definitely chances, but I think Lazura is a pretty good horse, so I'm happy to be with her.
Yeah. I was really taken by that win by On Display, and you could argue, if I'm nitpicking some of the fields that these horses are beating, then who'd she beat? I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. But at the same time, I believe what I'm seeing with my eyes, and I'm believing what I'm seeing when she's doing it with 60.5 kilos as well, first up, where she was fat as a bus. So she's going to trim up there. She's going to appreciate Flemington. Barrier 1 stinks. I hate it. I hate it so much. And I think Lazura early in her prep, and I think she's going far better, I will say that. But early in her prep, last prep, she was lengths away from, say, your Lady Shenandoahs and even your Lady Camelots on good ground. I have a feeling that she might appreciate a bit more cut in the ground, where Flemington can get pretty rock hard on its day. Yeah. So I think On Display might appreciate that a little bit more, and she's proven on that leg. Lazura isn't yet, even though I'm sure she's done a ton of work on with the stable back home. So I'll take the punt with On Display at a better price. I think she's a good quality mare as well. So I'll take the punt there, mate.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think that's all she wrote. Of note in the last, Scary running around at $41.
Tick. I think Kingswood's a good bet in that race. He's $7.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Scary back to the scene of the crime nearly from Derby Day last year.
Yeah, he just needs about triple the distance.
Yeah, he does.
He's so
all
slow.
Right. Rosehill has been hit by arc areas during the week, which is a bit unexpected. I think there was some rain due to come, but not this much. So it is currently rated a heavy 10, but there is sunshine for the next few days, so should hopefully dry out a little bit. But race 6 on the program is the Ming Dynasty of 1400 metres, Group 3 for the 3-year-olds. So previous winners of this, Lady Shenandoah, NCAP, Golden Mile, Coastwatch, and Holyfield. So Autumn Boy, we get to see resume his preparation. Grand Prairie obviously caused a bit of havoc the last time he was out as well, which Providence was, I guess, a victim of, and 60s as well. You with Autumn Boy here, or did you want to take him on?
Nah, happy to be with him. I think he's a good horse, Autumn Boy. Really likes his first 2 starts. And classic Chris Waller, 2-year-old that he likes, bring him up to Queensland for a bit of winter and give him a bit of a maturity based on a bit of travel. So, yeah, I think he's a good horse, Autumn Boy. Happy to be with him. Federalist, the son of Arcadia Queen. Bit unlucky in his first prep as a 2-year-old, but as he gets older, he'll improve. So, shit draw, he'll probably be taken back knowing that's stable, but keep an eye on Federalist.
Yeah, well, his mum hated wet ground as well. So there's that. A horse here that I think has proven to absolutely relish the ground as well is Without Peer for Kieran Ma. Now, this looks a spring champion type of operator. Pirata, his daddy, loved getting through the slop too. So was nosed out, I don't know how, by Ninja on the heavy 9 at Rosehill last start. Nearly a month between runs here, steps up to the 1400 metres. He'll run a race at an each way price Without Peer, where you can't really say that a lot of these will get through the going. So I think he's one that I am keen on. Race 7, the Shirako Stakes, 1200 metres, Group 2 for the fillies and mares at set weights and penalties. Sunshine in Paris has won the last 2 editions. Shades of Rose and Triviere and Horbury on Her, who actually, I believe that horse got a start in at Everest one day.
She did.
Wild. We get to see the Everest-bound Jolly Star. I thought it was interesting that they locked her in prior to the race.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, considering Chris Waller's got Lady Shenandoah in the Hermitage Silks, who I also think has Arrowfield ownership, and then Jolly Star, obviously has some pretty prominent ownership too. So, I found it fascinating. Obviously, he's having conversations, and there's other slot holders who are talking to owners and all that sort of stuff. So it'd be some political stuff, the reason why she's been locked in so early. She'll run well there. What are your thoughts on her here? First up, she's clearly going to improve. Got to carry 59 kilos. What do you reckon?
Well, I'm trying to look through her form here, and I think it's bugging out a bit, but she might not have seen worse than like a soft 5, soft 6 in her career. So this is completely unknown, and I don't really want to play under those circumstances. Now, the horse that I do have time for, which I don't know if she's actually going to go here given the track conditions, but like they kicked her off in a Group 1 race, albeit at Morpheville last prep, and that was Amina, and she ran super races there.
She did,
in the Sangster and the Goodwood. So I think she's got significant upside. I just don't think, if it was a good track, I'd be not chips in, but I'd be very interested in her. I adore that stable, and I think she's pretty good.
She is good.
Probably just want to see it. Gangster Granny was quite good, giving Autumn Glow a scare last time, so I wouldn't cheap you out of her. And Steffi Magnetica, I think she just needs. You want her third up, right?
Yeah, she needs a couple of runs, and interesting to see what she'll look like in the yard, because usually she looks like absolute dog shit her first run. Agreed, Gangster Granny, Autumn Glow form. I think we'll look back at the end of this spring and say it's the best form in the country. So I think Gangster Granny can run a super race here, but I also like Lilac if it is a softer deck with Gate 1, Chet Schofield on. She won in her last race of last prep really nicely. So, is she up to the class of a Jolly Star or a Steffi Magnetica or even an Amina? Probably not. But at a price like that, you could bet each way.
Yeah, you're right. You could bet each way there. You'll see. All right, the run to the Rose for Yulong, 1,200 metres Group 2 for the 3-year-olds as set weights and penalties. Last year won by Traffic Warden at about 10-1, tipped out by yours truly. Cylinder the year before, In Secret the year prior, Animo the year prior to that. So Godolphin have won the last 4 editions.
Bivouac won this as well.
Yes, and Rothfire in between Animo and Biv. So Bivouac is the last winner of this race to go on to win the Golden Rose as well.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Raging Force is your $3 favourite. Now, he was my guy. It was the bet of the day last start. But I think you take him on here. Step up to 1,200 metres. Unproven on the rain-affected ground in comparison to what he's going to face here, I believe. And I've had a bit of an opinion that I think Wotan, there's a reason why there's such a spruik for this horse, and in his only career win, that was on a soft 7. So I have a feeling this horse might really appreciate the ground that he's going to find on the weekend.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah,
I think he's gonna. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of intent here with Wotan. He's never, ever, ever been one of mine, but this might be the greatest heist yet. Get in, spin the wheel, land the heist, and get out.
Get out of the casino.
Get out.
And well weighted in this, isn't he? 55 kilos. Jason Collett on a wet deck. Scrumptious. I think Wotan can win, absolutely. He's in my numbers, if we're going to do numbers. Call me David Gator Gately.
Yeah. Fifth top rated.
Yeah, he was my fifth top rated, so I was keen on him. So, don't be afraid to have an opinion, bro. I'm a Terry two bets in this race. Got to have a small little play on my guy nepotism. Does he want further? Absolutely. But the little boy could have turned into a man this prep, and maybe he just comes out here and blows them away.
$11 is a huge price.
It's a big price for a horse who I think he's favourite in the Golden Rose right now. So it's a big price. I have a bet on him. And the little Godolphin filly, number 9, Tempted. Kieran Maher, I think this might be one of his very few Godolphin runners. Bro's going to flex his muscles. And Ethan Brown, what are you doing here, brother? What are you doing here, brother? He's not here for a fucking holiday, is he?
No.
I think she's a smart little filly, Tempted. And she's $5.50, so I can have 2 bets in this race. Why not? Who's going to stop me, huh?
Nah. And you look at her last run where she won the Percy Sykes. She beat Savvy Halley by 2 lengths and within the law. So those fillies have definitely franked the form, no doubt, so far this prep with their 2 runs. So, she was one I was definitely interested in. I think if it's not today for Wotan, it's never again. Like he has the run under his belt. He has Jesus Christ himself in the saddle. He has weight relief. Like, what else could you possibly want? Like
Jesus Christ, who can walk on water? Great wet track jockey.
Yeah.
No, you're right. We're both happy to take on Raging Force. What are your thoughts on Skyhook at $9.50? I thought he'd come up shorter.
I think that's a ridiculous price. Like, I don't get it.
I thought he'd be $5.
I know. Especially because there was he blew a little bit late, but he carried 16.5 kilos first up. And he beat Grand Prairie, who went on and won next start. So it's like, I don't know what else he could possibly do. He's drawn
maybe
well.
Maybe it's we talk about JMac tax and how you're going to get a shorter return on investment because JMac's riding. Well, what's the opposite? What is the opposite of the JMac tax? It's the Karen McAvoy tax return. Bro jumps on something and they double the price. They're like, here's a carrot. Here's a carrot. You want to have a bet? And then you're like, oh yeah, I might do that. Somehow from gate 3, he takes him 10 back the fence and runs on nicely for 4th.
Yeah, it's the Karen stimulus package.
It is.
Yeah.
He's terrible. Has he had a Metro winner this year? Has he?
Mate. I don't know if it would be for that dog shit stable of theirs. Well, he rode him last start, so So there you go. But yeah, so fascinating run to the Rose. But yeah, Wotan get out drifters. Now the Theo Marks, 1300 metres Group 2 handicap. Autumn Glow is $1.55. Awfully short. Karen McAvoy is in the saddle.
That actually scares me. It does, mate. It does. Like, remember, he rode the Autumn Sun a lot, right? And albeit did a good job. That was when he was in much better form. Remember that horror day where the Autumn Sun did not win? How did K-Mac manage to butcher that? I will never understand. If anyone, mark my words, if anyone is going to break this filly's picket fence, it is Karen McAvoy. She's very good, mate, but he can find a way. He can find a way to muck him up. I hope he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, Tass, I'm trying to remember back. I can't really, because it was Zusane that beat him, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure.
Let's have a look here. Just looking through his career.
Ran 3rd, I think.
Yeah. Oh no, it was Tarka. There you go. That's right. No, in the Golden Rose, he Zusane ran 2nd. And Dealmaker beat him home too. So anyway, it was on. Yeah, you're right. Kieran was riding him that day. So
I remember.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first, and especially when the super freak Zach Lloyd is on the stablemate Democracy Manifest. I would have thought Autumn Glow's a much more succulent Chinese meal.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the Karen connection with the ownership. I don't know, maybe, but I'm going to watch this, and it's going to be the most nervous I'll be watching a fucking Theo Marks that I'll ever be.
Yeah. Yep. Nah, I feel ya. Well, I should have actually done my due diligence to see who was actually running in the Epsom handicap before I put on my futures bet play, because I didn't really know that Autumn Glow was going there, even though she was the favourite in the market. But number 2, Pierre, was my play, and he was at $26. He's not that price now, and he's only had one trial. So I think, and the stable has said during the week that this is easily the best horse that they've ever trained. He was an ultra impressive winner of the Wayne Wilson, and who did he beat? Absolutely nothing. But they've been ultra patient for him. He's a 6-year-old gelding, giving me Barraquil vibes, where they've been so patient. But he can get through the slop over in New Zealand, so Aotearoa, hopefully you get through it here, brah. Let's give him a go. Let's spoil Christmas with Pierre.
El Costello comes back with Joe Pride. Haven't seen him since he ran whatever he did as a favourite in the Derby 5th. So interested to see how he goes. I don't know what. Maybe he'll be an Epsom handicap Golden Eagle type. I don't think he's a stayer, El Costello. But yeah, interested to see how he comes back.
Stallion for chain first time. Love to see it.
You fucking love to see that.
Love to see that. We don't like the stable, but General Salute is a wet tracker. $9, second line of betting. I think there's some sort of respect there as well. So they're probably the 3 or 4 that you'd want for the wider quaddie. How is Steffi Magnetica an emergency in this race, though? I've just seen.
Yeah, I saw that. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
That makes no sense to me. Anyway, that's so bizarre. And that's all she wrote, mate. That's all she wrote. Yeah. I'm glad there's no hosted pods this weekend, because we could burn through the kitty pretty quick, I feel.
Oh, we could. Because I'm favourite bashing, so yeah, if there is ROI, it's not going to be much between the losses.
Well, it could be one of the great days. It could be. But keep your powder dry, drifters. Keep it dry. Keep it dry for Underwood Stakes Day next weekend. Do it for that. And then, because I believe Sir Delius is heading that way, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so...
I think so. I don't think he's going to have much competition.
I think we might be pot committed. So... that will be fascinating. And who knows, mate? Maybe he loses the speed in his legs and the Caulfield Cup dream is still alive.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe he just charges home and they're like, well, he definitely needs further than 2,000 metres.
Well, it's the loss he needed to have. And maybe he plays up a lot, and he's just like, you know what? We need to get some serious runs into this colt, Gold Trip style, and just run him in all 3.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah,
put some miles in his legs, Gay.
Yeah,
it's like your daddy did.
Yeah. Anyway, I believe my son would probably be wanting to use his cot in this bedroom, so it's best to love you and leave you. But we'll be back on Sunday, drifters, to review what is a fantastic weekend of racing.
Peace and blessings.
See ya.